In our last video, we set up a WordPress website together. So here is mine. Now, if we want to edit our website, what we do is we go to the address bar, and at the end of our site name, we put in a backslash WP hyphen admin. Hit return, it'll prompt us to log in. So again, it's your username you set up with them, your password, log in. Do not check this if you are on a public computer. And then if you are on a public computer, remember when you're done to go up here and to sign out. Alright, so as we learned before, the WordPress websites have this front end that the world sees, and then they have this back end that you use to edit, which you do through the dashboard. So if I go up here, click on this little menu drops down, click dashboard. The back end of the website is updatable, and let me just give you a little bit of an example. Well, updatable, but customizable as well. So, for example, if you do a lot of posting, when you go into the page for posting, you can change some things around. Like, let's say you don't want to see this, you can just click here and that collapses. Or let's say that you decide you'd rather have this up higher here, you can just click and drag it. Um, so you can do a lot of little things in here that'll make it easier for you to work. One of the things that's easiest for newer people to forget about or not know where it is in this thing is you do have other options that aren't even shown here. And to get to those, you have to go up to the top, click on Screen Options, and it drops down and it shows you other things that you can show on this working area. So if ever you can't find something that maybe I'm talking about, just double check that it's not up here. And then when you're done with that, you can just click there and it closes that back up. I'll expand a bit on some of these options over here on the side. So if we go to users and my profile, this is kind of an important one. This is like, how much information do you want the world to see about you? And we talked about the fact that you have these avatars that you can adjust through gravatar.com. So you automatically get an account set up through gravatar.com, which can be used to display publicly on all of your things that are linked to that. So you can make a little picture of yourself. Now, from what I understand, you just go in here and you can update it. You can put your own picture in there, and then you have to give it a rating. So I would suggest you use a picture that's suitable to give a rating of G. If you violate that, you can get reported, and WordPress will shut your site down and so on. So keep it clean. So when you post things, this is the information that'll show that shares with people. So right now for me, if I made a post, it would just show as coming from Gonsowski's site. But if I'm trying to, get people to know me, I can put in my full name and so on, a location where I'm at, some information about me. Now be really careful what you give away here, because if you want your personal email all over the web, that's exactly what you're doing here. And you can put in phone numbers and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, unless you're trying to sell something, I probably wouldn't do that, because you'll be getting a lot of crazy calls. You can also, here's another way to get into Gravatar to update your image link. You can add links to other WordPress sites that you work on. I believe even just regular websites here. You can use this option here, which is called Verified External Services. So if you want to make sure that people know that this is indeed you, again, maybe because you are trying to sell something, you can give links to your Facebook and that type of thing, and not really a link to your Facebook, but just the fact that okay, yeah, I know that's John Johnson's Facebook page, so this must be John Johnson here really blogging. And let me scroll back up here and let's go into settings and discussion. And here, this has to do with settings for your blog. Who are you allowing to comment on your blog? for a public site. Um, Usually the defaults are okay, but there's one here for sure that you should be aware of is comment author must fill out name and email. Definitely leave that checked because otherwise you're just letting anyone put a post without having any responsibility connected to it. So as long as people have to fill out a valid email and name, then what that means is if someone does start putting advertisements in your blog, then you can go through another link in here and blacklist them from your site. But if you don't check this, then even just automatic machines can come and start putting advertisements on your site. Another thing that's available under this settings tag is sharing, and this gives you the ability on your blogs and or pages to add links to your other things. So the other page that I was talking about was just a verifier, but this you can actually put a link on the bottom of your pages that'll say that'll show this icon, and people can click to go to your Facebook page. You can also kind of customize the way it looks on your page. So right now these are all the available services, and if you had something that wasn't on here that you wanted to add, you could click to add a new service and follow the instructions and add it. This is what's on here by default, but if you wanted to add another one, you just simply drag it down here and it becomes another one that shows on your page. Now if you find that your page is looking too cluttered because you have too many of them here, you could just put the most important ones here and put as many other ones as you want in here, and then they will just generically show up under a share button that the person has to press to reveal more options. So just through that, or just so that that's clear, let me just do a couple of things here. Let me add that and that here. That's good enough. And then let's make sure. Now what you want to do is you always have to make sure that you're actually saving this stuff. So almost always the windows will have like a save changes button at the bottom. And then once it's saved, then you can go back to the site and look at the site and see what exactly this stuff looks at. So here's my blog, and so if I click on a post in the blog, then you can see here were the three that were there by default, and then the more option shows the ones that we added into into general sharing. And you do of course have to set these up so that people know where to so that the site knows how to get to you. So in other words, you'd go to the Facebook icon, click on that, and it will take you into a little panel here. Enter in your information and your password. Okay, so let's look at some more advanced options of making a post here. And what you'll find is later on when you go to making just a site in general that's maybe not so blog heavy, or maybe just has a blog as one of the last links, you'll find that just about everything that you do on a post is basically the way that you set up a page as well. So I click on posts, I'm going to go to add new, and then I'm going to make a post that's pretty text heavy, and I'll even show you how to embed an image in here. So what I'm going to do is make one for defining your site in Dreamweaver. So I'm going to put the title of the post here. So this is the title. This is what shows up at the top. And then I always recommend you click on this button right here to add what they call the kitchen sink, which is the other options you have. Now, if you're not having as good a luck as I am with just posting stuff from Word, you can also click on this button here, paste as plain text. It opens up another little window and you paste your plain text in there. But I've been able to just paste right inside of this window. So I'm going to grab a Word document here and just copy what I've done in here. So you can see that I have bullet points and all that good stuff. And so I'm going to copy all of this, do a Command C to copy, go back here into Dreamweaver, Command V, post that information. You can see it looks like it's going to work okay. The only problem that you do have when you copy a Word document like this is it wants to give you the source file. So you definitely don't want that in there. So just copy that, delete it. Now, here you can start to style this a little bit. So I would probably want this, because this is going to show up as an H1 heading automatically. So maybe I want this to do an H2. So as long as you clicked on the kitchen sink here, you will have this option for adding some tags. So if I add a H2 tag to it, that's going to look a little bit bigger. And as long as all my buttons look okay, great. If not, or I mean my bullets, you can also use this object or this option to indent or outdent buttons. So if you were drawing or typing on the fly in here, you can use that. For me, it's just much better to work in Word and then paste it in here. You can look at, if you click the text option, this hopefully will look very familiar to you. There you see the H2 tag surrounding this, the strong to make that word bold, and then there's your unordered lists. So we now have the text in here. Now I want to add a link to a video that I made. So I'm going to go down here, hit the return key a couple times to get outdented, and then I'm going to go and find a video that I want from YouTube. Okay, now that I found the video in YouTube, what you want to do is go down to this share button that shows up below the videos, and what that does is it gives you the embedding information for the video. So if you just copy what's inside of here, so just make sure that I have all that, and a real safe way is to just put your cursor in there if it's not highlighted. Well, I guess they make it pretty easy, so it's already highlighted. So anyway, Command C to copy. Go back to our WordPress site, and then here I want to Command V, paste that link in there, and if I want this to look a little stylish, I can go back to text. I could place a horizontal rule in here and a line break, and then what you want to do is click publish, and this will publish that new post. Alright, and then to view it, again you just click here, takes you to the site, and since the blog is the first page in this site, or the default page, we'll see that right here. So here is, now this applies to local CSS styles of this website. I didn't change the color of this, and the typeface and the way that this is shown. In fact, one of the sites that I work with, it shows these with an X instead of the bullets and the circled bullets. And then all the way down here is the embedded video that we put in. You can play it from right in here, little tiny view. You can click on here to show a full view. You can click on here to actually take you right into YouTube. Okay, now let's do something a little easier than that. How about adding an image to a blog or a page? So again, we go back into the dashboard. Let's just make a brand new post again. So we go to Post and Add New. Okay, so I'm starting a new page here called Post with some test images. Here's the easiest way to add images. You just click on this little thing that looks like a camera icon, and then simply drag your images into the little box that opens up. So I have another folder opened up over here that has some large test images that I made. So I'll put a couple of those in here, and I'll put a couple of the thumbnails for these in here as well, and we'll see what happens here. So if you scroll down here, you can see that these are the images. I'll click on Save All Images, and then you have a choice of, do you want this to be a gallery or a slideshow? So I'll just click on Insert Gallery here, and let's take a look at the page after we save it. Alright, so I clicked Publish, then I went out and looked at the page, And here are the images that it put in. We'll talk a lot more about images in the next video.